Good morning everyone. So today I'm doing a spiral stabilization session, intermediate level. So if you are rehabilitating a back injury or you have a slip disc or a bulging disc or compressed disc or you have S-curve, after about 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, depends, you would move on to the next level. If you don't have any injuries, you could progress a little bit faster. So for the intermediate level, you will need a mat, spiral stabilization mat, in addition to your rope, and you can get that from me, from my website. And then for the intermediate level, we're basically putting 1 foot forward, creating a little bit more of a traction through the back muscles. And the movement with the arms is the same. So we cross the arms in front, shoulder over the hips, and as you exhale, you pull on the strap, and then you're tracking the body upwards, you're lifting upwards. Inhale, exhale. Now the foot that's on the floor is pushing down into the floor, and then the energy is going back up into the body, and then the foot that's on the mat, it's just resting there. And after a few, you switch sides. So again, we don't go too far back from the mat, because then we're going to create too much of a lower doses in the back, too much of a sway back. So not too far. And then as you cross the arms and you go down, you bend the standing leg a little bit. Again, that could be specific modifications depending on your back. If you have a little bit of a flatter lower back curve, you wouldn't be bending that standing leg, for example. Okay, so a few here, and I'm already beginning to feel a really nice stretch into my back. And as before, we're going in quarter circles, going around. So I'll move my mat. And when I'm working my right arm, my left leg is on the floor. So I'm engaging the spiral chain from my right shoulder, right arm down to the left foot. So then I do a few here, every time tracking the body upwards and pushing the left foot down to the floor. My glutes will engage as well, gluteal muscles. And then I'm going towards the back. It's a different muscle change, so if I'm working my right arm, I've got my left leg forward, but I'm going to use both arms, and I'm going to switch both legs. So first we do work out both arms at the same time, then we move on to single arm work. So all in all, if you are rehabilitating an S-curve, you would do both arms, single arm, all the way around. So the whole workout would be at least 20 minutes. Ideally 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. So here I got head, upper back, and here generally we don't want just the shoulders, we want this bit here, this middle bit of the spine to stretch. So that's why I'm not leaning forward, I'm trying to stretch into that middle section of the rib cage. Okay, and then I go towards the back. So that's my left leg on the mat, right leg on the floor. And as I'm tracking the shoulder blade down here into my back, I'm not really having to pinch it down. The movement of the arm will bring it down actually good to think about your exercise in terms of movement. So what is my shoulder blade doing in order to get it into the place where I want it to be, so down on my back. So I don't just have to place it there. I feel the shoulder blade gliding over the back of the ribs, coming down. So once you've done your standing variations, you go down onto your knee, and the mat is a really good support for the knee. Hips nice and square, and we'll continue. It is stretching the back muscles slightly differently, and we're engaging the stretch down into the hip flexors on the front. So at first, you keep your leg perpendicular to the floor. As you build flexibility, you can go a little bit further. What you don't want is your back to dip forward. And then the other side. So the technique is based on relaxing or releasing tension in the vertical chains of the body, and those are the ones that we often have tension in. So top of the shoulders, lower backs, chest, hip flexors, and they cause compression in the body, compression in the spine. So in order to decompress, we stretch and release those, and we strengthen the spiral chains in the body, which will then support that lift in the body. And I need to have a different leg here. So opposite to the arm. So here I can incorporate a neck stretch. So I turn my head towards the rope, and then I knock down, and I'm stretching the muscles down the side of the neck. I can look up and down. That is really good. That's going a little bit further up and towards the edge of the jaw. And then if there's no neck issues, I can also turn the head side to side. And I can do that again. So turning on the lower level, up and down, and then turning at the higher level. And then a few more with the arm. And you can hold that hip flexor stretch here for a little bit longer while still lifting upwards. Okay, and then we go to the back. So for the intermediate level, we can keep that slight traction through the spine by placing one knee slightly further forward. Now in this movement, we do let the shoulders come down first, and then you move the head, neck, upper back, then the arms are pulling, and it's that middle section of the spine there, just under the rib cage, this bit here, lower half of the ribs. A little bit of a blind spot. And then I put the other leg forward. And so if I have my right leg slightly further forward as I roll down, I'm getting a bigger stretch down the left side of my spine in that muscle train. Just careful that the tension doesn't start to come into the top of the shoulders. Okay, and then I go to the back, so I need to do my left arm, so that's a right leg forward, and we go again. And I can incorporate that neck stretch here, up and down, and at the top level, Now my core is working out indirectly. I have resistance from the strap. So as I work my arm, it is not just my shoulder and the arm working out. Every time we move either the arm or the leg, ideally the core should engage automatically. So there are some things that I teach to build that somatic awareness in the body, but it will automatically happen as well if you engage your legs just as well as the arms as you work out. So if I go, I'll do a few from the front here again. You can do that on your knees as well. And so far we've done the back chain, and we've done around the shoulder down into the leg. And if I go to the side once more, I'm going to do the front here, the pec muscles. So I can do it this way again. So this is the way the muscle chain, this one works, is that I have the same leg on the floor than the arm I'm working. By leaving that shoulder down and moving the arm as far back as I can, I'm stretching that pectoral muscle. And it feels really good. And I don't know if you can see that, but I am building up a little bit of a sweat. It is a hot day, but it happens anyway. It looks like a very easy exercise, but it is a pretty good workout. So even if you don't have back issue, it is a great strength and conditioning exercise or complement to whatever else you're doing. Personally, I teach yoga and Pilates, I move, I dance, and that can cause a little bit of imbalance in the body from demonstrating or doing something more to one side than the other. So I would do it in the morning before, and then the evening after, or before you go for a jog. It's a really good thing to do. Okay, so that's a little demonstration of the intermediate level. Now